Hello, everyone. I did press the correct button this week. I guess I didn't almost
Hooray.
press the wrong button. Welcome back to Tales from the Front Troupe, or Whispers in the Mist. If you're enjoying what we're doing and would like to support the show, we have a Beacons page with all of our affiliate links, or coffee for direct donations, or our Redbubble with some merch. Get lots of fun stuff there. All of our social media links are also on there, so you can follow us, keep up with updates about the show, or grab a link to the Discord to pop in and chat with us when we're not streaming. Is that next week? I guess I can say this now. Next week we're gonna be at GaryCon, so some of
You're
us
there.
are.
Come see us.
Come see us. Come hang out.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. Oh, and if you're watching the VOD on YouTube, that's the one I'm forgetting.
There you go.
Like, I know there's a third thing. Make sure to like and subscribe, but also, if you can, join us live on Twitch every week. Typically Saturdays and Sundays right now. Other times there's bonus stuff, but, you know, we typically announce that ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
So, Darren, if you would like to take us away, have us introduce ourselves or whatever, you know, whatever you're feeling.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Darren. I'm your GM again. Episode 3. Exciting stuff happening. Had our first combat last episode, but we'll do the recap in a moment. Why don't we jump around and just give everyone a quick recap of your character, whatever you'd like to share today. Let's start. I think we started with Tess last time, so Let's start with Jenna.
Hey everyone, I'm Jenna, and I'll be playing Ava. Ava, the most memorable thing that she did last session is that she called a very majestic and ancient stag spirit to give them a lift back to town, which is basically a majestical Uber.
Oops. It's probably fine.
Wait, fine. That won't come back to bite us. It's fine.
Nah, it's fine. And of course, we have the lovely Charlie.
Hello, I'm Charlie. I'll be playing Garon Collins, our awkward, unsettling forest witch boy.
Yes.
Who
Loves him. We love him.
Was not super helpful in the battle last week until the very end.
You've killed the end, though.
I did. It was a spectacular ending, so that's all we have to remember. We don't have to remember the rest of it.
Yeah, we don't remember all the fumbles. It was.
We don't have to remember the
kill shot that we all remember.
Yes. Awesome. And then, of course, Tess.
Hi, I'm Tess. I play Ruby, the slightly cursed social tank that doesn't quite understand her powers, but most notably, she's really good at talking to people, and they can't do jack shit else. So, which is good because she also can't do jack shit else. So,
yeah, I think our group here, it's been really nice that you each have your own very specific niche, and you're really good at that one thing, which is great.
And
but
nothing
just
else.
Don't do any of the other things.
Basically.
Just stay in your lane and you'll be fine.
Everybody do your part.
Exactly. A
but
fight
don't
needs
try to
to happen. We got Ava, anything magic. We got Garon, and then Ruby's there for all the talking. Don't let anyone else talk.
Ava trying to be personable, and the person's just like, She's like, all right, that one didn't work. Let me pick him up by the collar and try this one.
Persuasion didn't work. Let me shake him down.
Smack him around a couple times.
Sober up, kiddo.
Let's do a quick little recap, catch us up to where we are in the present moment. Our players, the Barnaby's and Bertram's traveling troupe, has recently arrived at the town of Boone, one of the largest towns they've been in a while. This hub town between two railways, and after doing their show, they did some investigating, got a lot of little plot hooks that we'll explore over time if you guys would like to. But the main one we've been following is the trial of Denny Snow. Denny Snow is on trial currently for killing his entire family in the middle of the night. But of course, our troop realized that there's something a little bit more mystical, magical happening here. So they decided, why not go to the scene of the crime? That's where we headed off to the Denny Snow family estate, off in the woods a couple hours out, where we found a impossibly old man sitting in a chair, with the ghosts of all of Denny's family members kind of in limbo floating around him, with umbilical cords connecting them all to this man, as if he was siphoning energy from them. From there, you guys quite deftly, for the most part, dispatched with the man. You freed all the spirits. It seemed like they were almost trapped to this plane, and you were able to usher them off into the afterlife, wherever that could be. From there, after defeating the man, you guys picked up a couple ciphers, which are small one-use magical items that we have yet to fully identify. Of course, you guys searched the house a little bit more, while Ava was out burning everything.
Evidence.
Yep. It's fine. Burning evidence. So,
she's getting rid of evidence, not keeping it.
But while Charlie and Garon and Ruby searched the house, they found a safe which had, after Ava broke into it, they found $100 in cash and a bunch of legal documents like the deed to the house, birth certificates, all that sort of stuff. And Ava, with a little bit of resistance from Garon, I don't remember Ruby's perspective on it. I don't think she weighed in too much on it. But you guys decided, yeah. But Ava convinced the group that I'm gonna just take the money and the documents. I'll bring it back if we decide to, but maybe this guy's gonna die, and we might as well someone's got to have the money, right?
And a house for when we retire.
exactly, because now you have the deed. So Ava's got all these documents, $100 in cash, which is way more money than you guys have ever had, which is great. And from there we headed back into town, but it was getting dark, so in order to get back quickly, Ava summoned with one of her ciphers the majestic spectral deer, who gave you guys a ride back to town as if it was an Uber, which is very fun. He did not look too happy, but
that deer spirit's gonna curse me later.
But as we arrive back at modern times, you guys see the candlelights in the streets, with little lamps that they have out, because now it has gotten quite dark. The rain has picked up as well. You guys are sort of having to cover up from that. And you guys reach the edge of the forest, the line dividing the natural world and civilization, at which point your spectral deer stops and kind of crouches down so you guys can get off. And he says, "I will go no further."
Thanks, friend.
Yeah, sure. And with you guys getting off, he just kind of like turns around and just trots off into the forest without even saying goodbye.
If he had a middle finger, he'd be sticking it up at
Exactly.
us.
And as he fades away, both spectrally and just off into the distance, you guys are here at the edge of the town. And it's, as I said, the rain's kind of picking up. It's quite dark. There's no one really out on the streets here at the moment. What's your plan? What are we doing?
Speakeasy?
Yeah, that was the plan, wasn't it, to go to the speakeasy and talk to those guards or whatever?
We can try. I would assume they're still open, but
That's
Who knows?
probably too late to
Like-
get back into the jail.
I mean, that depends on how you want to get into the jail and what you want to do.
I just,
Legally get back into the gym.
yes.
Oh,
just wanted to
oh,
talk-
okay.
talk to Denny.
All right. Wow.
I want to make sure that Denny's been cleansed, yes. And whatever
Yeah,
was
somebody-
influencing him has disappeared.
Somebody should burn some of your like herbs or whatever around him, just to make
We're
sure.
gonna say someone should burn him. And I was like, what?
He's part of the evidence. Throw him in. Cleanse it all with fire.
That escalated very quickly, and I think we just had a conversation about something like this.
Legally, I can't endorse a witch hunt, so
For ethical reasons, I cannot.
All right. So where would we like to head then? Sounds like Speakeasy or the jail.
are they
We're gonna
two
also
near each
talk
other?
to that reporter guy about getting money, the information.
Say that again, Charlie.
Is the speakeasy and the jail near each other?
I'm gonna.
Or are they
actually
in like
look
in
that
different
up.
directions?
From where you guys are, with a little bit of detour, you would pass the jail on the way to the speakeasy. So as far as what makes the most sense time-wise, jail would be hit first before hitting the speakeasy.
Just take a detour, walk past the jail, see we could get in. Go to the speakeasy.
Sure.
Sure.
Cool. All right. You guys begin heading in. Garon, I need a roll from you real quick. This is essentially like a straight perception roll, so it'd be under intellect.
Okay.
And I need let's do difficulty 4, so that would be a 12 or higher. And then let me know if you want to apply anything to it.
See.
Intellect effort would be if you want to just use some raw points.
Would so does this roll have anything to do with creatures or objects that are normally invisible, insubstantial, or hidden via magic?
It is. Do you get buffs from that, or do you?
I automatically perceive those things.
Yes. Which is why I'm having you make the roll. And no one else is making the roll.
Okay.
So you still would have to make the roll. But let's go ahead and ease it. Why not? We'll pop that
Okay.
down to a 3. So 9 or higher.
Okay.
Roughly 50-50.
That's an 18.
Oh, great. Fantastic. All right. You take one last look back at the forest. You know you're going to be like in civilization for a long time, and you know how your character's more at home in the wild, I believe.
Yes.
Garon is. So you take a look back just to feel that out, and you catch a glimpse of something out there. You see the 18. You basically just straight up see it. The largest buck you've ever seen. Garon wouldn't necessarily know this reference, but it would be like larger than a moose, a little bit larger than a moose, but it's this massive deer. Its fur is black like soot from a fire. It's got these piercing, glowing red eyes, almost the color of blood is how you would describe it. This like dark, deep red that's glowing. But the main thing that pulls your attention here is its antlers are this striking amber color. And they're translucent like honey almost. they're also glowing, these antlers. This low pulsing glow that reminds you of like a smoldering fire, a fire that's like burned down, needs new logs. This small pulsing glow. And as it, yeah, that's our description there. It's looking at you just with its, standard deer look, as it catches your eyes seeing it, and it looks you dead in the eye. It's off a ways into the forest, but it's just watching you for a moment. How is Scaron reacting?
I would probably stop and turn like I was already looking back, but just turn to face it fully. And in a normal volume, so I'm not like shouting or anything, but with I think I don't know if this is true or not, but feel like these types of creatures have excellent hearing, and would just say, "What do you seek from me?" But it does.
Gotcha. Reaction. It's I think just a small like polite bow in recognition. As it moves its head, you see small pieces of like ash fall from its antlers as it moves slightly. And then it just slowly turns around and walks back into the forest.
Okay.
And you watch as the glow from its antlers kind of disappears into the black of the forest farther than you can see in this darkness. And yeah, that just little encounter happens. I'll note, Ruby and Ava, if any of you noticed Garon sort of stopping and looking back.
No.
No? So
Ruby
Ava,
might.
yeah, I would say Ruby's kind of got just kind of a sense of like what's going on with the group.
Ruby has like a bit of a danger sense.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I mean,
so.
I also was not like whispering. I was just talking at
Yeah.
a normal volume.
Yeah,
so they
yeah.
were probably
You guys
close
did
enough
hear-
to hear.
So
Yeah.
so during this interaction, you guys, when you turn around and look into the woods, you did not see this massive black-haired deer with these glowing antlers and eyes. You just saw Garon talking to the forest for a moment.
Brax, I mean, he talks to the trees and stuff, It's not like that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It's like his normal.
Should we be concerned? And this is Ruby is directing this at Huron.
Not for the moment. It's something potentially keep an eye on, but did not seem overly threatening.
Ruby will shrug and just continue on her way then.
Yep.
All right, great. So you guys are heading towards the jail. Yeah, a few blocks in, you pass by the hotel on the way through. You see some lights on inside and everything. It's still up and running. But yeah, eventually you guys reach the front of the jail. There's the mob that was outside has dwindled quite a bit in size as people have gone home. But there's still a few dedicated mob shouters outside, even more drunk than they were before. I've gotten a few more drinks. The guards, we have 2 new guards out front. It looks like a rotation has happened since the last time you were here. And yeah, basically similar scene as you saw last time with those small changes. The guards look a little tired though, because it's like, oh, here goes the overnight shift. It's basically who these guys are. And yeah, what would you guys like to do?
I wait for Ruby to go talk to him.
He'll go up and
Stand behind her looking competent.
talk and say that, or go up and ask. I promise we'll be quick. I just was wondering if I could speak once more with Danny. There were a couple things we found of interest at the homestead that left some unanswered questions.
The guards like look at each other again. Two new people, so that you've not had this conversation with them.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. You're good. If you want to change your wording, have at it.
So Ruby will walk up then and say, introduce herself as a third-party investigator who went out to the homestead and noticed some peculiar things that she would like to question Danny Snow about. And she will use, or she definitely is trying to lean in on her persuasion abilities, like hear some voices and things.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do. Give me one moment. Yeah. Okay. So they look at each other, and one of them looks back at you, and just before we make any roll, it's just like, and who are you? Why are we letting you in?
Ruby will say, I'm here with the traveling show. She'll give her fake name that she signed into shit with.
Sure,
she's like,
yeah.
I'm here with the traveling show, but I consider myself a bit of a fixer and have an eye for unique type situations in which I may be of service. And I know your town has a problem with Mr. Snow and what occurred on his homestead, and I'm just trying to get a little more truth for all to see.
Got it. So you're kind of mentioning that you're a fixer and you're going to solve all their problems, which is nice. All right, let's go ahead and grab a roll for you then to persuade them. I'm going to pop it up a little bit with this. Let's do a difficulty 5, so that would be a target number of 15. Although you're trained in like persuasion, deception, all that sort of stuff. So we'll pop that down to a difficulty 4, so it'd be a 12 or higher. Let me know what you get.
That is a 12 on the nose.
Nailed it. All right. Yeah, you look at they look at each other again, kind of like, I mean, it couldn't hurt. I mean, she's harmless, right?
Totally
they're like,
harmless.
Yeah. They're like, all right, go in, just be quick about it. All right, let's save 5 minutes. All right, don't take long. And one of them opens the door for you.
She gives a cute little curtsy and thanks them as she goes in.
One of them gets a little flustered. Oh, all right. And then you add on in. Cool. All right. Ruby's heading in. Anyone else heading in with her?
Yes. Yep. Ava just doesn't even question anything. She salutes them with like a no smile, no looking any less harm. She looks not harmless and just.
Gotcha. One of you is harmless. Cool. Salute them, march on through, and then Garon right behind.
Yeah, I say thank you and probably pass a little too close to one of them. Like go through the doorway.
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
not gonna stop Garon just because he is so unnerving.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily,
He was raised in the woods. He's not been properly socialized. It's fine.
Neither was Ruby, but
none of us have been properly. Actually, Ava has been properly socialized. She chooses not to be.
All right, you head on inside, pass by that first cell that had that blood stain on the ground,
Unfortunate.
and get over to Denny's. He is still in the same spot that he was before, that back corner, kind of sitting up against the wall with his knees up to him. Yeah, and he's just kind of sitting there. You can see his eyes are open. He's just staring off at the wall.
I guess Ruby, I assume Garon is gonna do his magic thing, so
Yeah.
Ruby's gonna start talking for the group and say, Mr. Denny, we went back to the homestead and investigated. There was a being of sorts there that was able to summon other strange deer that seemed to be attached to the spirits of your family. We set them free and defeated both the deer and the being itself, and came back to inform you of that.
I think even with this like good news in a way, I think he relaxes a little bit. You see like a physical reaction and a few tears kind of down his face, and he just like kind of puts his head in his knees and doesn't say anything, but you can kind of see almost like a bit of a relief come over him. Garon, you have an ability, right, for like detecting this sort of stuff?
Yes. Mystic sense. You can sense whether there's something mystical or magical going on in situations where its presence is not obvious. You must study an object or location closely for a minute to get a feel for whether a mystical touch is at work.
Cool. Yeah, you're feeling out for that sense from before, and you don't feel it anymore. It seems like whatever was sort of still connected to him is no longer there. Seems like whatever it was likely related to, or was this this being that you killed back at the cabin. Yeah, I think you just like between like sort of stifled sobs, you just get a small thank you. And then I think he's going to just straight up fall asleep. I think he's been trying not to fall asleep for a long time because he knows what happened. And he just like, he cries himself to sleep right there and then.
Oh.
I think after he falls asleep, Garon says, the earth and its child can begin healing.
We did the good by freeing them ghosts. You know.
Did we have Garon look at the blood spot last time we were in here?
Not specifically.
No, I don't think so, because I looked at it and then I went to go ask the guards about it.
Yeah, more like a physical though. I would say that I mean you would kind of get a sense of it anyway, but nothing piqued your interest back then. Most of it was straight from Denny.
Okay.
But if you want to take a look at it now as well, just to kind of get a feel, was there something mystical here? It seems like there is not. It's just like straight up.
So someone just
a pile of bloody.
Got murked here, not mystical.
Murked unalived themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said murkter, as in murder and murked. I was like, that's a great word.
Murked, yeah. It's when a mercenary kills you.
Yeah.
We went through the stuff in their desks and stuff like that, didn't we?
Yeah, we already did.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it wasn't too much. Just that we had the the log book of people who had been in and out, which had been quite empty except for the reporter. But anything more substantial would be like at the sheriff's office in the courthouse.
Okay. And we know the reporter's name, right?
Yes.
Somebody does. Ava doesn't.
I believe we got
Write
it
down?
in the past.
Yeah, let me look. Do I have his name somewhere?
We'll say that it was said at some point. It's Lum Enoch, Lum, and then last name Enoch, Enoch. And he's staying at the same hotel as you guys.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was in the book, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, his name would have been in there. So, and that's how you would know that it was the reporter. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I found it. I did have that written down somewhere.
Anything else you guys want to do in here? I'll say that like last time, the only person in here was Denny. There was one other person in here across the way who is fast asleep on the floor, like the concrete floor, not the bed that's in there. Just like in a drunken sleep. One of the people that was outside in the mob earlier is now inside the jail in a jail.
Ava's standing and just staring at the guy in the jail.
Was it
Like,
Ava's friend?
This is, yeah, you get closer and you see this is the person that you shook down before. Has ended up in jail by doing something to the guards, possibly.
Ava's gonna bang. What does she got? She's got some sort of tool or something. I think she's got a hammer or something in her belt. Yeah, and bang it on the bar to wake him up.
Perfect. He just like, what? Huh? What? Who's you? And he like backs up against the wall and is like, stay back.
What? What did I do?
You were mean to me.
You obviously did something illegal, so you know. We all got our faults, huh?
I didn't do nothing.
Why you in here then, bro?
I'm innocent.
Why you in here then?
For nothing. I'm innocent.
What are they accusing you of, sir?
They say that I, walked up to one of the guards and punched him in the face, but I just tapped him on the shoulder. It was nothing more than that. I just gave him a little tap on the face. It was nothing. He should have shaken it off.
You know, you're not all right. Well, next time when you hit somebody, hit them with the first two knuckles, and you can't even like extend all the way. It's got to be like a jab, you know.
Ah, gotcha. I was wondering why I didn't knock him out in one punch. I'll try that next time.
Yeah. Try that next time. All right.
I wouldn't be in here if I knocked him out.
That seems valid. Well, have a good one. Happy hangovers and all that.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Okay. Well, you might want to go on the bed, but whatever.
He just falls over and falls asleep.
Don't forget to
lay on your side.
Well, that's what Elaine was gonna tell him, to be on his side.
He's face
on
first.
your side, bro.
He ends up just face first.
I really hope we don't. Oh, I guess
Ava's leg fit through there because she might just turn him on his side.
Yeah, you just want to kick him over?
Yeah, basically, just so he's not like just carefully use her leg to like prop him up on his side.
Yeah, you just kind of like kick his shoulder up. He like
she thinks he's a little bit of a
against...
drunken asshole, but she doesn't want him to die. So
yeah, he just flops up back against the wall. He's on his side now. Yep.
All right, I got him. It's all good. All right. He's an idiot, but he doesn't deserve to die for being an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh.
Choking on your own vomit is certainly a way to go.
That would not be my death of choice. Honestly, that would be a sad way to go. Also, you shouldn't die in jails just for whatever reasons.
Garrett just looks at the bloodstain. Maybe we should.
You really don't want to die in a jail.
Find out what happened there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's go find out what happened there. And then I was thinking Ruby could go talk to whoever's at the front desk And then I'll look in the book and find out where the reporter guy's, which room he's in, so we can just like knock on his door and talk to him too.
All right.
You
Front
know.
desk of the hotel
Yeah.
you were talking about?
Yeah.
Or got it.
Breakfast, probably.
That's
We could, or we could wake him up tonight.
in the middle of the night. I'm sure he'll love that.
If we're
He
trying
could
to
be at the bar though.
He could be at the bar.
I don't know how legal this reporter is willing to go. So
He might think we're all crazy, so.
that's also true.
Where's he from? I'll ask him when we
We
find
didn't
him.
ask.
All right. Cool. So you guys head back out. And yeah, are we going to the speakeasy next then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Great. So just like a couple blocks over, you continue on and you get to this building that like for all intents and purposes looks abandoned. Like the windows and the door out front is boarded up. But you do see that it's got like an alley to the side of it. And walking out of there is just two very drunk people that are trying to hold each other up. But they're both falling over and both kind of doing this like tipping side to side as they like turn out of the alley and continue walking down the road. They both like tip their hats at you as they walk on by.
Night, boys.
Have fun. One of them vomits.
I love them.
Gross.
make sure to sleep on your side.
Ava's gonna come over and just like pat him on the back, but I'd like to actually steal any coins in his pocket while I'm pretending to be helpful.
Oh, lovely. I love it. All right. Normally this would be like a difficulty 3, so 9 or higher. They're drunk, so we're gonna ease that to a 2. Do you got anything to ease that anymore?
I don't think so.
Okay. 6 or higher then. To steal would that be? 7? Hey, just enough. You're right. Yeah, you get it's let's see. You'll get like 50 cents off of that.
Perfect.
Just like some loose change in their pockets, whatever was left over from their night of drinking.
Perfect.
And there you go. And you head on it. Great. So they continue walking, none the wiser. And you guys look down the alley. You do see that there's another door to this building in this alleyway.
All right.
And approaching it, you also see that there's like one of those like slots with the like sliding slot thing there. And yeah, what would you like to do?
Did you get a password?
Nah. Was there a password? Is there
I
a
don't
password
know.
at a speakeasy?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Wait, Garon
shit.
wouldn't know that.
All right. Well,
Garon just makes moonshine in the bathtub.
Well, I guess Ava's gonna, or not Ava, Ruby's gonna go up and try and talk her way into speakeasy.
All right.
Ava will knock on the door loudly. Like
Perfect, knock it.
I imagine Ruby's like a little like shorter than Ava.
Yeah, no,
Just, like reaches
Ruby's
over.
tiny. Yes.
You see almost instantly the slot slides open and you just see two pair of eyes glaring out from behind it. And in like a gruff voice, you hear a man say, "Password."
Ruby looks up with like her big innocent puppy dog eyes and it's like starts going into the spiel about how they're from out of town and they wanted somewhere to like relax, have a nice drink, and she didn't know that she was required to have a password, and she utterly promises that they won't get into any trouble and won't cause this guy any problems whatsoever if they can just come in for a drink or two.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab a check for that. So this guy normally it would be a difficulty 5 to kind of persuade your way in. which would be a 15 or higher. What have you got to ease that? Normal persuasion.
Yeah.
Perfect. So that'll bring it down to a 4, 12 or higher. You can also apply effort. Or
I'll take the effort of application too, seeing as we might have a fair amount of information.
Okay. So that'd be 3 intellect, although I think you have an edge, which would bring it down to 2
2.
Ipsman.
So
cool.
9
so 9 or higher.
That is a 9 on the dot.
You guys have been getting
barely
nice
making it
ends with every
today.
single roll. But hey, technically succeeding, so it's okay.
Yeah.
The best kind of success is technically.
Yes.
All right. You see the guy is like, all right, but I'm keeping my eye on you. And then you see the slide latches, so it's closed. And then you just hear a series of like one lock after another being unlocked. An impossible number of locks on the other side of this door.
Ava actually listens to that.
Okay.
It goes from the
sounds good.
very top to the very bottom.
She's listening to that. Like,
Yeah, you're starting to like, you're
they
like
got good
hearing.
security here.
Yes.
Yeah, you're hearing like specific types of locks, and you're like, that one's
How does Ava
key.
know this stuff?
You just hear for a second like the noise of a combination lock is going off. You just hear the 3 numbers go off, and then
Impressive.
eventually, after too long, the door opens
15
up.
minutes later.
There's a Chinese puzzle box lock.
The door opens up, and you see before you this like large burly man. He like steps off to the side and sits down in his stool, and says, "Enjoy the night."
Thanks, handsome.
I feel like Ruby flounces her way in, but also responds to like the "I'll keep my eye on you" as "I should hope so" with a little wink, and then just flounces in.
Yeah, Ava's like, you really can't not have your eye on him with a face like that.
Once again, you flustered another man, and he lets you guys pass on by. So the door leads immediately to a set of stairs that lead down to a basement, and you see immediately you're hit by the smell of tobacco. There's a small bit of haze over everything, and you just hear like rowdy shouting and cheering, the sound of a piano as you head down into this basement area. It's a classic bar sort of thing. Their color of choice is red, so all the chairs have this like red fabric over them. This beautiful wood bar with a bartender behind it dishing out drinks, and it's quite packed in here. Actually, there's let's see, basement. There's probably like a good 30 people down in this basement, and everyone's just kind of having a good time. What are you looking for specifically as you're looking around down here?
2 guys who look sad.
Got it.
Yeah. 2 kind of copy-looking guys that look sad. Also
with
nosy
cop
looking,
haircuts.
nosy-looking reporter.
Got it. Sounds good.
Yeah.
These are people who could be named either Cooper or Esquivel.
Yeah.
So first person you're looking for, the reporter, you don't spot anyone, or don't spot the reporter who you've already seen. You know what he looks like.
Yeah.
So that's the first person you can immediately spot, and you do not see him. You do see in the corner, in like this corner like booth section, you see 2 guys who are kind of just the antithesis of joy and excitement. They're just sitting there kind of head down, like looking into the middle distance. They each have a large beer and then like 3 shot glasses next to them that are empty, and they're just sitting there. Every once in a while you'll see like one of them like just sighs like that, and yeah, that's what you got. What's the plan?
You guys want a drink?
Is that at them or at us?
No, at you guys. I'm not buying them a drink. I'm gonna convince them to buy us a drink.
We should at least one of us should have a drink to blend in, so we don't look like narcs.
All right. Ava's gonna go try to grab drinks for the three of them.
All right, sounds good. So you head over to the bartender. Garon and Ruby, what are you guys up to when this is happening?
I imagine Euron starts to pull out his bottle of moonshine and then is like, oh, okay, and then puts it back.
It's not from your own booze situation.
Good call, good call.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, unless Ruby stops him, he'd probably start walking towards the guards.
I mean,
Super
ultimately, that is our goal. So I think Ruby will follow and make sure that we don't totally unnerve these people.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Into
I imagine whenever Ruby flusters someone and then Garen follows, it's just like a bucket of cold water falling on like, over them.
Good.
And then Ava walks by and scares them all straight.
It's just a roller coaster of emotion, guys.
we
No,
need him to go through the full roller
No,
coaster.
what it is
yes.
Ruby goes by horny, Ava scared and horny, and then Garen nothing.
Oh, cold shower.
Perfect.
Cold shower.
Aw.
Good.
Someday Karan is gonna run into someone that it doesn't cold shower entirely and not know what to do.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I'm just reading through something, but cool. So remind me one more time. So Garon and Ruby, you're going straight to the two sad-looking people.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's start with Ava real quick. So you get up to the bar. Bartender's been passing out drinks. You have to like stand here for a second as he finishes up with the previous order.
Mhm.
He like points at you and nods like, I'm on my way. Hang on. And then he comes over. This guy with like just a white button-up shirt with an apron over it, like a leather apron. It looks pretty nice. And he like kind of wipes his hand off and he's like, hey man, what can I get for you?
3 beers.
3 beers? All right, $1.50. I'll grab your beers.
I'll have grabbed some money from Ruby before too,
All right,
but I'll throw that 50 cents down that
that you just stole. Yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. All right, Ruby, if you want to mark off another buck
Yep.
for us. Perfect. You drop the cash on the table. He grabs some beers, brings them all over at the same time, and sets them down in front of you. He takes the money, just throws it in his apron pocket, and is already on to the next person. He's moving fast.
Thank you.
A lot of people to serve, and only one
And
man
she,
doing it.
she just picks up the mugs and brings them over to
Perfect.
Garen and
Yeah.
Ruby.
All right. So before you get over there, Garon and Ruby, you guys approach. The guys there barely notice you at first. What are we thinking?
I'm trying to think how to approach this one. I think Ruby will slide over to the table and say, hey, you guys look like you need some cheering up and some company. Or a kind ear to listen to your woes.
One of them looks at me and is like, ma'am, you don't want to hear about this.
I think I do, actually. I'm a little more capable than I appear.
I think they look around and then they instantly launch into a story. It's like they've been wanting to tell someone for a while and have been waiting for someone to like someone that just like looks trustworthy, like has their best interests at heart, and without even having to roll. I would say that this would have been
That
like a
is Ruby.
difficulty 1 task, but because of your persuasion, you've knocked it down to instantly ready to go. They just kind of tell you about what happened, and I'll just say it in standard terms, but they go through the list. But they were a couple nights ago. They were on guard duty at the jail. They they don't admit it immediately, but you kind of get the sense that they slacked on their duties a little bit, didn't pay the full attention that they needed to on what was going on, and eventually just walked past the jail cell where is it? Albie Skinner was being held. Albie Skinner, who'd been brought in the night before for stealing a horse. He was found dead in his cell with his chest ripped open and his heart missing. So they basically are like, so we just found this guy. I mean, our neighbor, we had been hanging out, last week, and he's just dead on the ground, heart missing. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen. Excuse my language.
I think Ruby brushes off the excuse my language. She's like, I don't worry, I've heard far worse.
They're trying to be
worse.
nice for the kind lady in front of them.
Yeah. She's like, that's very unfortunate and very unusual. Luckily, me and my compatriots specialize in unusual if you want justice for your friend.
Yeah, the other one who wasn't talking as much, it's like, really? You'd look into that? I mean, it's crazy. We've been having, what's it been? It looks at the other guy, like once a month, there's just been this crazy, gruesome murder with someone's heart missing. It's incredible that, this isn't a bigger deal. I think the sheriff's up to something, or maybe the mayor. The other guy's like, I don't think that there's any sort of cover up. I wouldn't worry about it. But clearly something's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kieran says, and you didn't hear anyone come into the jail or leave?
He's like, yeah, I mean, we were like playing some cards, so we weren't listening super close. That's probably why we got suspended. But we were listening enough. We would have heard something. I think it was maybe it was like a ghost or something. That could be crazy. The other guy's like,
jail ghosts?
Nothing.
They don't usually do any harm to anybody. It's just like being in purgatory for them.
Jail ghosts?
Yeah.
The other guy looks at you like, I haven't heard of that one before.
Ghosts that inhabit a jail.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. I just didn't know that was a common occurrence.
Oh yeah, definitely. Heard of it lots of places.
It's usually relative to the amount of deaths in the jail.
Yeah. Some places are more haunted than others. Anyways,
Don't
Real
worry,
quick,
we'll do our best to ensure that
yeah.
your friend rests easy and does not become a jail ghost.
yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was gonna ask, is there like a specific time? You said once a month a gruesome murder happens. Is it the same kind of murder? They murdered the same way, and also is it the same time of the month?
It's roughly. It hasn't been like a specific date or anything at all, but it's like, 1 week out of roughly every 3, but it might be off a week every now and then. It's just roughly once a month.
So it doesn't have like a pattern.
Doesn't seem to be.
Not like the first week of the month or the second week of the month.
Not that specific. The pattern goes as deep as roughly once a month.
All right.
How long has this been occurring?
About a year, just over.
Oh.
I think our first one was end of summer of last year.
Did anything peculiar happen in town end of summer last year that you're aware of? Any new faces that have stuck around?
That is a fantastic question. Hang on, let me think.
Damn you for asking such a good question.
I also have a couple of questions.
I'm gonna make a die roll real quick, a luck check. You guys want high, but it's gonna have to be pretty high. So let me roll and I'll let you know what they say. All right, so on a 2, he's like, yeah, no one that I've interacted with.
How's the crops been? Was the town on hard times? Have you been prospering well?
Normal prosperousness so far. Nothing's changed recently.
Any new hires at around that time at the jail?
At the jail? Nah, nothing new here.
All right. It just sort of walks away to find like dartboards or something.
Yeah. Perfect.
Bored.
Yep, you've got your beer. You've already handed Ruby and Garon. You guys have your beers from Ava. Ava, you walk over to the dartboard and there's already people playing a game, but they immediately welcome you in and it's like, hey, you get the next one. We'll put you in the rotation.
Yeah, you can finish the conversation with them. I was going to say she's going to try to hustle them.
Oh, yeah. Okay, got it. We'll come back to you then. All right. Any other questions for me?
No, if Garon had any clue, he'd be like, Ava, this is why we got kicked out of the last town. Instead of hustling the locals.
Good. All right.
Do I have any other questions? Is there any pattern to those affected or those who are murdered? Any gender, age?
What's the MO?
Yeah.
I think
Besides hearts.
Have they all got men?
I mean, obviously, we're dealing with a Snow White situation.
give me 2 seconds just to read up on something. Yeah, I think they say no, nothing. Honestly, it seems like random killings, but I mean the last one was over at the auto repair. Walt himself, the owner, found that body. That was just outside. Some guy leaned up against a pump, some out of towner.
Was that the first?
No, that was the last one. That was last month.
No, was that the first out of towner been killed, or there been more?
I'm gonna say. Let me make this up on the spot. They're like, nah. There's been about 3 of them, including that guy. Again, doesn't seem to be any sort of pattern. Seems to be people who are unlucky out at the wrong time. Or this one was definitely the most brazen to like sneak into a jail and kill someone in a jail cell.
Yeah, that is quite a deviation where there are potentially witnesses.
How long?
Sorry. I was just gonna say the 2 of them like look at each other with that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that is kind of a break in the pattern." Yeah, all the other ones have been like just out and about in the streets or something else. Every time seems to be at the dead of night, and it's just whoever happens to accidentally be out there. But this is the first one that seemed fully premeditated.
How long have the sheriff and mayor had their positions?
Oh, long time. I think mayor's coming up on 20 years as mayor of this town. Sheriff's been doing this for like 40.
Man, the sheriff has to be
up
there.
He got elected young. I mean, before I was even born. But you know, the town likes him, so no reason to change, right? Why fix what ain't broke?
Do you remember any peculiar sounds or scents or feelings even when you were playing cards that night?
Let's do another roll. Nah, nothing peculiar. We were just playing cards. Seemed like a nice night, and then just wham, lives changed forever.
I am going to activate. Well, I'm going to keep talking, but I'm going to activate something.
Sure.
I'm going to use inside voice on Yaron and ask him to see if these guys have been bewitched in any way.
Great. So inside voice, tell me a little bit about that.
Mind-to-mind telepathy. I don't, and it lasts for 10 minutes. It's short range. It's 2 ways. It's one of my special abilities.
Awesome. Yeah. So, and you would have set this up probably with Garon and Ava a while ago. Would you have set that up with both of them or just Garon?
I mean, I have to renew it every 10 minutes or so they know about it, but
they know that this is a thing that you kind of keep blabbing out. So yeah, Garon, it's usually a little unsettling to hear someone's voice in your head, but you've done this a couple of times with Ruby, and you know that it's her kind of reaching out. And then what did you ask of Garon again?
If he can activate his mystic sense on these guys to see if anything bewitched them to make them unable to pay attention to something. Because I would think a grisly murder would distract you very much from playing cards in some way, shape, or form. I don't think that's a quiet encounter in any way, shape, or form.
Unless he was drugged.
That's true.
C would be screaming.
Yeah.
Okay. I will say before leaning into my mystic sense, I would, since this is a 2-way connection, feed one theory to Ruby that, and I didn't want to say this out loud because I don't want to cause them to come to an inaccurate conclusion, but it seems to me that this murder is someone intentionally trying to pin the blame on Denny Snow.
Yeah, she'll respond with, yeah, that also does crack. It also might be a good idea to see if he noticed anything while he was ascent, anything that could be potentially
didn't we ask him about?
I don't remember if we asked him about the murder.
Yeah,
I think we did, and he didn't have anything.
He didn't remember anything, but he was staring off into space a lot, so.
Although we could... Garon would say
incredibly
we could try again now that he's
coherent. Maybe.
More,
we'll see.
potentially more open.
Yeah.
Garon will pull back a little bit from the conversation, just all quiet and unnervingly stare at these 2 cards.
Ruby will just keep on bantering and reassuring these guys, talking about the show and how they should come check us out. Might bring a little levity to the difficult times that they're going through and help them process through their grief of losing a friend and stuff.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that they start transitioning into talking to you like a therapist.
So she's perfectly fine with that.
So they're like kind of processing their emotions and feelings with you as you guys are having this conversation. Yeah, Garon, you kind of see if there's any sort of mystic thing, like any whiff of anything on them, and you get back nothing. Unfortunately, just 2 normal dudes who witnessed something crazy.
While Ruby's talking, Garon would just telepathically say back, not sensing anything. That doesn't necessarily rule out that something didn't happen, but it just not be lingering.
be a good idea to see the body at some point. It's not. I mean, also question the auto repair dude, but she'll keep on chatting and helping these people. How much Ruby actually helps is debatable. Was raised in a cult and is not a therapist, but she'll try and reassure them and try and steer them in the right direction. She has doubts about how much they may or may not remember this tomorrow, seeing as they've been in a speakeasy.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I think as you come out with your like mental conversation with Garon there, one of them's finishing up his thought and is just like, I think it hit me so hard because, you know, the guy who died, like, he reminded me of my father and my relationship with him.
Yes, daddy issues. I see.
Which are much preferable to mother issues for reasons.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I've always had the thought that I wanted my father dead, but do I really? Like, and so they.
Well, your daddy issues that traumatize your dad back.
So you guys finish up this conversation here, and you're moving away. Ava, what have you been up to over at the dartboard?
So she is she takes off her leather jacket and she's got kind of like a long sleeve shirt on. And you know, she's just kind of I'm not really sure how to play this. I haven't really played that, you know.
Got it.
And she's playing stupid, like she doesn't know what she's doing.
Yep. One of the guys there is like has taken a deep interest in being like, it's all in the backswing. Like when you get back here,
okay,
you gotta like line it up and make sure that your body should be like this. And he like comes over and is like overly touchy in a way.
Yeah.
Of like trying to like be like, so put your body like this, and then you can just throw it perfectly.
Yep.
And then gives you a dart to like practice throwing.
Yep. She's gonna throw it at the board, but she's gonna attempt to like hit it like way like not it'll be on the target board, but like not quite in any of the circles. She's trying to make him think that she's bad at this.
Perfect. Sounds good. Yeah, you can easily do that. You're an expert marksman with throwing knives, so that this is not far from what you got going on. So you can land it exactly where you want.
Like, I got it on the board. Is that good?
Wow, not bad at all. Not bad for your first time, of course.
Yeah.
And one of the other guys is like, "Hey, you want to enter the tournament? We're just throwing in like $5 each, and whoever wins gets the pot."
Yeah.
Perfect. So you have been going through this tournament over to the side while Ruby and Garon have been doing their thing. Let's go ahead. Let's do a roll for it. It's not going to be that hard because you're going up a bunch of people who have been drinking heavily, who think that they're really good at the game. So it's
her favorite.
Exactly. So we'll do like essentially an attack roll, difficulty of 2, so 6 or higher. You're using darts, which will ease on to difficulty 1, 3 or higher. And then go for it.
That's positive because I rolled a 5.
Nice. Hey, technically a success, as we've been learning so far this session.
She's trying to work them up to like, you know, she wants to get their false confidence. Like, so she's just barely making it, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, I was sorry. I was doing that roll as like an overall for if you won or not. Which you succeeded.
Well then, yes.
So let's. I'm gonna turn it over to you to kind of describe the change that happens on like as you're throwing darts, ramping up. What specifically happens here?
Instead of positioning her body like that guy did, she kind of like she puts her in her normal stance and like you know, she's like in the wrist. She knows it's all in the wrist, right? Mm-hmm. And she
yeah, exactly. This guy was like, you gotta do a big backswing and then
she's like, nah, it's in the wrist. But yeah, she doesn't want them to think she's too good though, so she's just like making like the edges of the target, like not like the perfect center she would normally do, because you know she might want to come hustle them again, and then she'll be like, beginner's luck. Your advice totally worked out. And she like pats the guy on the back, like, thanks, man.
Everyone's just kind of like almost a little slack-jawed. They each just lost $5, which is, for these people is a decent amount of change.
Yeah.
So they all like are like, yeah, lucky, I guess. So the last roll I'm gonna need from you is a deception roll. So intellect difficulty of 3, so that would be a 9 or higher. Feel free to
I rolled a
apply
17.
effort if you need. 17? Yeah. Fantastic. Cool. All right, so you successfully get away with this.
Yeah, and she's just kind of like jumping up and down, like Garen and Ruby don't really know too much about this, but she spent a lot of time with like some upper crust, women, so she can sometimes kick it with like she's a stupid girl.
They're all like looking at each other like,
Hey.
but you successfully figure this out, and they let you go with the money, and you just made $15. $15 you can bring home with you.
And Ava just like grabs her jacket, kind of throws it. This was so much fun, guys. We should do this again sometime.
They're like, yeah, okay, yeah.
I assume she asked their names at some point, but that's not really important.
Yeah. You grab those. You know it now.
I won't force you to make up a bunch of names.
I appreciate that. So you finish up with these guys and immediately start rushing out. Ruby and Garon, anything else you guys want to do down here? You do see Ava, the ending of this interaction where she's like grabbing a bunch of cash off of a table and is kind of turning around to leave. Maybe even signaling to you guys, hey, it's time to go. Time to wrap it up.
Yep.
Garon just sighs.
Ruby definitely manages to suppress her sigh, but it's like, okay, we gotta go.
Cool, and you guys just silently make your way out as quick as you can. Say goodbye to the two gentlemen, Hooper and Esquivel. You learn their first names are Nathaniel and Enoch, as they they feel that they bonded super close with you guys. Mm-hmm. And yeah, you guys head out, back out through the front door. The bouncer is like, "Oh, gone already? Heading out?"
Yeah, we had a blast.
Good. Yep. Well, you guys have fun, all right?
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
He goes through and does all of the locks. So you guys have to stand there awkwardly for a second. And then he
Ava's actually watching this pretty intently.
Oh, yeah, if you want to like kind of commit this memory of seeing it, you see just
locks are her special
notes.
interest.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple of them are like lock and key padlocks, and you see that he's got a key ring on his side that he's using for those. Combination lock, you mark the numbers in your head and know where those go. And then just the rest are just a couple standard latches. But yeah, he opens that up, lets you guys out, and you guys head out into the night. What else would you like to do here? Any other plans before you head back to the hotel?
Probably too late to like get dinner anywhere. So, and we'll just be like, I guess we should check those rabbit traps that we set up into the woods.
We really want to go into the woods this late at night.
Yeah, you're right. We'll check in the morning. You're right. We'll check in the morning.
I still have some jerky.
Yeah. Snack on whatever. And then she Ruby $15. Made some money while you guys were doing detective stuff,
Please don't get us kicked out of town.
I really hope.
Well, I was acting like it was beginner's luck, so I don't think they realized I was hustling them.
I really hope none of them come to our
real
show
hard
tomorrow.
But we're leaving after the show, right?
We haven't solved like any of the mysteries here.
Well, we solved the Denny one. The fact that I burned the evidence is kind of bad, but
All right.
What about the guys without a heart?
I I thought Garen would be happy now because now we made back all the money that we spent here.
And more than we spent.
Yeah,
I mean,
I tripled our money.
I'm not
You did more than triple it.
not opposed to having money.
It was just a tournament, you know? Like, it's not my fault if I am better at that than they are.
Get caught.
All right.
Maybe
just don't get caught.
Maybe-
It's like, I give up. Just don't get caught.
Good
maybe
advice.
we should get you a different costume for the show.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Maybe like a mask or something.
Yeah.
Yep. It sounds
Maybe like a
I'll
black
probably be-
leotard and a mask or something, or
Dress you up as a
whatever color.
clown.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I'll lie through my teeth.
Heavy
for the
makeup.
show. It's fine.
The heavy makeup. Or a jester. Do you prefer a jester?
Sure, whatever that is.
Like a clown?
Then how is it different than a clown? I'm not a big fan of clowns. Maybe you could just do like some really like intense like eye makeup and whatever.
And whatever.
Whatever, you know.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, so you guys head on back to the hotel, snacking on some leftover jerky for dinner, and you arrive back at the hotel. You see that at this point, it's getting pretty late, but you see that there's still the glow of a fire from inside. As you go in, you see like the lobby area, which had some seating, some like couches and stuff, coffee table, all in front of a fire. You do see someone sitting over there that you haven't seen before. He's dressed pretty nice. He's got a wooden cane that looks very expensive, leaned up against his chair. Wooden cane with like gold inlay sort of design on it. And he's just sitting watching the fire, sipping on a cup of tea. And you see Peggy is in there as well, because I changed her name to Peggy. She's in there behind the counter, just kind of like doing some finishing work at the counter of like bookkeeping and accounting and that sort of stuff. Yeah, you guys enter. Peggy greets you guys. She's like, "Hey, welcome back. Getting a little late. You guys heading to bed? You need anything?"
Do we need any? I don't think we need anything, do we?
All right, great. Well, I'll see you guys in the morning. We're gonna have breakfast down here if you want to grab anything. But you guys have a wonderful sleep. All right.
Thank you so much, Peggy.
Of course, of course. Ooh, she's kind of yawned. She's getting ready to go. But yeah,
Is
she's like, I'm going to bed soon myself too.
Is the man with the cane older?
He's not super old. I'd say 40s.
Okay. Does he just look like a more well-off person?
That's his pimp cane.
Yeah, yeah. It looks like he's kind of like dressed and kind of his presentation says, "Hey, I have money, and you should know that I have money." And he's kind of sitting like upright, a crossed leg, and he's like kind of taking a sip and just enjoying the fire and being classy.
Okay.
What's that? I don't think that's the reporter, is it? Reporter's like usually on edge.
Yeah, you guys have seen the reporter.
Oh yeah, that's not the
yeah,
reporter.
and this is not him.
What does he look like outside of like he's in his 40s, like facial hair, no facial hair?
Oh
like...
yeah. He's got like dark brown hair. There's a little bit of salt and pepper in it, and then a well trimmed beard, the kind that you're like, oh, he checks on that every day, does a little bit of a shave to keep everything down.
Mhm.
He he looks pretty like a fairly fit build as far as like he's got what I would describe as like a runner's body, sort of, under like this really nice 3-piece suit where he's got the vest and a jacket over it. But yeah, that's basically what we got.
Okay. I think just having Yoron's eyes linger on him, just taking in his appearance and everything, but he won't approach or stop, and we'll continue on to, I'm assuming, back to our rooms is where we were headed.
Yeah. You guys head over to the elevator. At this time of night, there's no elevator person there. It's self-serve. There's a little sign, like essentially the equivalent of like a post-it note on the wall that has directions on how to use the elevator. And you guys can get yourselves up to the second floor, and head over to your rooms. You guys, the way I was imagining your rooms is that yours were right next to each other, and each of them had the two like twin beds sort of situation in there. And as we described, Garon had one, and Ruby and Ava were in the other. Anything else that we want to kind of run through tonight as you guys start settling in for the night? You guys are taking your own rooms and everything.
Yeah.
Anything else of note? Cool. All right, sounds good. So you guys rest for the night. So if you guys want to make recovery rolls, you can have at that.
Yes, please.
Basically, this is the 10-hour recovery roll, is what this would be considered. If you haven't used any of the ones below that, you can use that at the same time as this 10-hour one. So you would just do them in succession or roll that many dice and add to that number to it, if that makes sense for you guys.
I'm good with that one. I'm back to.
Sweet. Yeah, hopefully that should get you guys back up to full, but
I've healed from that deer antler impaling.
Yep. Good. Oh yeah, you have a bit of a rough night, like trying to not sleep on
that
the wrong
shoulder,
position
yeah.
of where you got impaled by a deer horn.
She has to sleep on the other side, not
Is that it?
turn, and crap.
Keeps semi-waking up in the middle of the night when she tries to roll over, and she's like, nope, other way.
Yeah.
So do
I think she's ambidextrous and can throw those darts with both hands.
Yep.
Do our recovery roll trackers, like, after we use
They're
all of them,
resetting right now.
refresh?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, they're refreshing, so you can clear all those out. Every time you do that 10-hour recovery roll, it also resets everything, and you go back to standard.
Cool. And I'm back full. Yay.
Nice. Fantastic. Yeah. Basically, if you have like a really bad day, then that might not get you up to full, but usually you'll be able to get up to full. Cool. All right. So you guys spend the night, wake up in the morning as the sun comes through the windows. You hear the windows the walls and floors aren't terribly thick, so you do start hearing the noises of the kitchen below you as they're like setting up some breakfast stuff and getting some basic stuff outside in the like dining room space. But yeah, over to you guys as you're like kind of gathering your things and getting back together. What is your plan for the day?
I think we were gonna try and pitch this the story of the odd happenings in this town to the reporter at breakfast.
Okay.
Were we not?
Yeah.
I think so. That was do that, and then I know we contemplated going to the trial. Maybe we.
What time is the trial at?
It would be it would be near the morning, but like after breakfast sort of thing. So that would be the first thing happening in the day as far as like events that people are doing. So
talk to the reporter first and then go to the trial.
Yeah. Ava also kind of wants to scope out this rich daddy looking fellow. And just like
yes.
not
Rich
like
daddy.
this. Yeah. She's just like she probably doesn't recognize him from anywhere, but she's just kind of like thinking about that and like, I don't know, just
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
has stood out to her.
Yes.
Fanciest person she's seen in this neck of the woods.
Yep. All right. Cool. Yeah. You guys head on downstairs. You see the they've set out almost like a breakfast buffet sort of thing where they've got some like bakery items and just some the equivalent of cereal and that sort of stuff out. Your standard like what we would have in like a hotel breakfast bar, that basic sort of stuff. You do see that over there already grabbing food almost in a hurry. You do see the reporter is grabbing some things. You also see up front the man that you saw last night is talking with Peggy at the counter. He's got a small suitcase that's on the floor next to him, and they're just chatting. He's sliding some money across the table, and they're just having a small conversation over there. What would you guys like to do?
Ava's gonna just look like she's rearranging things or whatever, straightening something up somewhere where while she's listening to the guy talk to Peggy.
I mean, we can give you the money to pay for breakfast. With Peggy.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
That's smart. All right, she'll pay for breakfast then.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, you head up to Peggy. Probably walk a little bit slowly to see how much of the conversation you can pick up before you fully interrupt. You approach over. You basically get the tail end of the conversation of her being like, "Well, thanks for staying with us again. It's always good to see you. I hope you'll come back soon. It's crazy that you're leaving so soon, though." And he's like, "Yeah, I gotta get to the next town, but." I appreciate all that you've done for me. And she nods her head. She's like, "All right, we'll see you later. Have a good couple of weeks. I'll see you soon." And he grabs his bag, heads on out, and she goes back to she has her big notebook that she keeps all of her all the income and all that sort of stuff, and she flips to the back. Which you've seen before, is where she keeps all of her her coded statements of like the gossip in the town, and she takes a little note, and then she flips back forward and just notates the money that came in from him just now.
Hey Peggy, good morning. We'll take breakfast for 3. And who is that dapper gentleman that just left?
And she's like, "Oh, him. That's Mr. Blackwell. Yeah, he is in charge of some of the lumber business in the area. So he comes to town once a month roughly, and checks all of his holdings, make sure that they're good to go."
I didn't know you guys were doing lumber
nice
stuff out here. That's cool.
Yeah, we don't in the town, but we're with the railroads coming through. We have a lot of lumber that comes through the town and gets processed.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's nice enough. Although
nice.
Between you and me, he's a little on the creepy side, but we won't worry about it.
He didn't look creepy. He looked really well dressed and.
Yeah, but those kind of fellas, they rub me the wrong way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that.
It's like he's like too well dressed. It's like, come on, man.
Just, he's too clean cut. Yeah, no, I get it. You're more into the rugged types. I get it. You know,
putting too much effort into his appearance and not into his personality. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, totally. I get that 100%. Yeah. You know anything else about him? What else makes you think he's creepy though? Like,
not particularly. I mean,
just between us girls, you know.
Yes, of course. She's like, you know, he's like friendly, but in like a I'm trying to get something out of you kind of way. You know what I mean?
Schmoozer.
Exactly. And you know, my Gem, reading a thing. Bear with me. Jem, my friend who runs Jem's Lumber, she deals with him a lot because, you know, she's taken in a lot of the lumber that he sends to town. She says that they do not get along. So if like he's not getting along with her, then there's something clearly wrong with him.
Oh yeah. I wonder why they don't get along. What happened?
Oh, I
Jeez.
don't know.
Ah.
they
Business stuff that's way above my head. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, she says that he just like she's kind of secretive about it, like the specific ways. She always kind of brushes me off whenever I try to ask closer. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Something going on there. Haven't gotten to the bottom
I wonder
of
if they had a torrid affair.
You know, that's not a bad idea.
Oh God!
You see, she turns to the back of her book, takes a couple of notes after you say that.
Not Ava starting shit for no fucking reason.
You just hear her mumbling to herself.
Love is scorn, you know. There's hell has no fury like a woman scorned.
You know it, babe.
Yeah.
Anyway. Get some breakfast. Don't worry about it. He's gone now, so you don't have to deal with him.
How long has he been working in the town?
I mean, he's been in and out for a couple of years.
Couple years? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'd say a year and a half, more like.
A year and a half. Okay. Cool.
But yeah, you know, you guys enjoy breakfast.
So I should steer clear of him though, because you know, obviously he's got some drama in his personal life.
Exactly. You don't want to fall into another affair, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I've never been in an affair.
You'd seem the type.
Yeah, I'll take that as a compliment.
It is a compliment. It is.
I've got the heartbreaker look.
I'm sure you're breaking hearts in every town you go to.
I try. No torrid affairs yet, but you know, we'll see.
Cool. So you pay her $1.50, and you guys head on to grab some breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Garon and Ruby, what were you guys up to with while this was all happening?
Would there have been, I guess, would there, seeing the man again, would there have been enough time for me to use Mystic Sense on him?
Good question.
I know he was on his way out.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's rewind the clock a little bit to before Ava's had this conversation. Okay. I like your thought here. So while he was still there, you kind of like decided to take an extra eye. Something about him is piquing your interest.
Yeah, like maybe Ruby was headed into the dining room, and then I just stopped, like I do.
Yeah. Like you do, like one does.
Well, if my compatriots are paying attention to him, I don't know if I'd necessarily leave either. I think I'd kind of flounce around.
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to be obvious with my attention, but I think I'd also probably roll the detect danger in regards to him.
Sure, absolutely.
But I'll let Charlie finish first.
I like it. I do love the idea of all three of you being like as inconspicuous as possible in this lobby. It's just like, there's some pamphlets over here. I'm gonna read those.
Well, no, Ruby would probably like maybe look like she's paying attention to the food, but also
gotcha.
Like,
you're like inching your way.
Yeah.
You're like inching your way towards the dining room as slowly as possible. Cool. All right. So, Garon, you're keeping an eye on this guy.
Yeah.
I will say, you do get a little whiff of something. A little whiff of something mystical. Nothing crazy. Like, you know, the guy that you just recently fought just like blasted your senses with like this magical stuff.
Yeah.
This guy's just like, it's just a hint of something here, something mystical, something about him. I don't think you can get any more than that at the moment. However, I do need you specifically, Garon, to make a deception roll, so an intellect roll. You got to beat a difficulty of 5, which is a 15 or higher.
I have an inability in deception.
Oh no!
Yes, yes, you do. I totally forgot.
Oh no! Oh no!
Well, I have to beat what, an 18, right?
Yep, 18 or higher.
You're making the big daddy mad.
That's fine. I'm trying to see if I. Yeah, I don't really have any abilities that would help with this.
You can
No,
always apply
I'm doing-
effort if you want to lower
Yeah.
it back down.
I'm doing other things, otherwise I could help you.
I will spend. I'll spend 1 effort. So that's 3 from my pool.
Okay.
So bring that back down to a 15.
Yep. Back to challenge rating 5, 15 or higher.
A 4.
4, great. Perfect.
Amazing.
Hey, it's right.
So good.
I didn't think it would work, so I'm here for this.
Perfect.
I love it.
So you do get this mystic sense. You're watching, you're paying attention to what he's doing a little too intently. And you see that he kind of subtly turns his head over and sees you over there, and his eyes linger on you a little longer than what would be comfortable.
Oh.
He looks at you and he I don't want to how it I guess it's creepy in a creepy way. He like looks you up and down in a way. Like looks you in the eye, looks at your body, looks back at your eyes, and then he turns back to talking to Peggy. He finishes up with her, and then he heads out, and then we have the conversation with Ava. Ruby, sorry, before that, you were doing something as well. You were doing the danger sense thing.
Yeah.
Can you remind me that's just basically like you can. How long does that take?
That's just it's a skill roll. It's just I ease anything that I'm trying to identify or assess danger, among
Okay.
other things.
Great.
And
cool,
this
cool.
guy is creepy and kind of obviously pinging my compatriots' danger senses for various reasons, or mystic senses that we want more. So I want to know how deep are we getting into things?
Mhm.
Pretty bad. We've just we've attracted the attention of something truly evil. It's bad.
Oh,
It is sort of perfect because I was like, I am the most conspicuous out of all of
Yeah.
us. I am the least subtle.
it's great.
And you said that you make a roll for
Which
that.
boys are his
Mhm.
type. Ooh.
Okay, gotcha.
I love it.
It's a difficulty 4 then, 12 or higher.
And then down to
That would be like
3?
intellect. Was that?
And then is it down to 3 because of the easing? Because I'm trained in that.
I see what you mean. Oh, so it's a skill that you have for
Yeah.
detecting that stuff. My apologies. Okay, I
Sorry.
understand. No, you're right. You're right. Yes. So
Okay.
you're trying to kind of you're like trying to catch his vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 4 drops it down to difficulty 3. Say a 9 or higher on your roll.
Not gonna. I'll use the effort to bring it down to a 6 too.
Okay, sounds good. 3 intellect. Or if you're
2
edged.
for me.
Yep.
Because it's edged. That is a 20.
20.
Holy crap.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Nice.
Fantastic. So a major effect happens along with that, and I'm just going to say the major effect is that you figure out a good amount of stuff from this guy. So danger sense is pinging. If you,
We're
if you were-
danger.
yeah. If you were Spider-Man, you would have a headache.
You really did attract the attention of something truly evil, Karen. That's right, though. I mean,
Yeah.
he would be evil's type. Corrupt the sweet witch boy.
And
Yeah.
because you got a natural 20, I'm going to give you one extra detail. You would have gotten that anyway. This guy's dangerous. You see something about the way he's holding his cane, and the way that the cane is built tells you that there's likely something hidden in there. That it's perhaps a like it's you kind of I'm gonna say that you've seen this sort of thing before, of like a cane that's built with a sword inside or some sort of large knife. And that it's the sort of thing that you can separate, and it's the top of it becomes your handle, and then you got a blade underneath. The way that he's kind of holding it at his side, the way that he walks, he doesn't need that cane. Like, he just walks fine. But he's carrying it with him anyway, carrying it at his side in a way that it's like at any moment he could just pull this blade out.
Okay.
There you go. Is that enough for an at 20?
Sword, cane, sword, cane, sword, cane.
I love the aesthetics of this. I'm here for it.
Cool. So you got that information, Ava. Now you have your conversation with Peggy, and you guys are on your way to enjoy some breakfast, talk with this reporter who's rushing through his food. With this revelation, we'll go ahead and take our break now.
Yeah. Lovely.
Yes.
Outlet.
Awesome. Cool. So 10 minutes. We'll be back soon. Finish up our thoughts here.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Total madness, but just wait. I really need to tell you something. 'Cause I feel alone in a room, surrounded by people. I wanna know if you're feeling it too. Out on the roof, here with you, it all seems so distant. With you. Right next to the skyline with you. Yeah, you. I've been a cynic for so many of my days. Now you just my makeup believer out of me. 'Cause you look so pretty in the sunrise, and somehow now everything is alright.
I'm looking at you. I'm trying to get your attention. Can I come close? I don't know how to play this. Our hands touch once or twice, feeling kind of hypnotized. I'm looking at you and I feel the tension. You know, this could be like heaven. I am right here, doing my best to make you feel like I do. And just for a second, you're looking at me, making me feel like maybe you want this too. Give me your attention. I'm trying to breathe, but the air feels just like water. You're making me weak now. What doesn't kill you makes you. Our hands touch once or twice, we should let them intertwine. I'm looking at you and I feel the tension. You know, this could be like heaven. I am right here, doing my best to make you feel like I do. And just for a second,
show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. Show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. This is all we got. Show me life, show me love. This is all we got. Show me love, show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. Show me life. Show me love. This is all we got. Sometimes life will push you down. Make you fall on.
80-foot tall wolf sitting right in front of us. You had just had a wolf inside of you, like literally inside of you, but not like in a fun way, but like in a not fun way. And
What
you
is
know,
the fun way?
No.
ask
it is
Henry.
open. We're not elaborate.
That's a different thing.
Yeah.
This is not that kind of campaign.
No.
You're not playing Monster
That's for
Heart.
monsters.
Oh.
And they're just like, no, it's bags. I'm just like,
And you have to say it like that too.
Bags.
That's a very Wisconsin dialect
Yep.
thing. Bags.
It's just cornhole.
Bags. Well, no,
Touch.
it's like ladder golf is not ladder golf here. It's testy toss. It's different because it's from Wisconsin, and we're all drunk.
Pause.
We're all drunk while we do it.
Like, oh no, my phone. Well, looks like I only have you to talk to, Salvatore.
Is that a threat?
That's a promise.
Is it?
And that is the garbage plate, which I had to look this up because I forgot everything that goes in one. I've never eaten one. The fact that I know of their existence is a curse.
Yes.
A traditional plate is your choice of cheeseburger, hamburger, Italian sausages, steak, chicken, red hots, served on top of any combination of home fries, french fries, baked beans, and/or macaroni salad, and then topped with hot sauce, sometimes also topped with optional mustard and onions. It's usually served with a slice of buttered bread.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, the garbage plate.
That's
It's
gonna
a
be our
very
new
apt
ladies and gentlemen
name.
the weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, the garbage.
Sylvie were told by Natalie yet, but I think I'm changing the code name. I'm gonna be Magic Werewolf Man. Figured I'd go with Coyote.
Yep. You just hop a couple times.
Nope.
Doesn't
Maybe
look
it's the
like it.
pose. Try a couple more.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Huh.
Is Elena just watching this?
I love it. I don't think it's
Show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. Show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. This is all we got. Show me life, show me love. This is all we got. Show me love, show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. This is all we got. Show me love. Show me life. Show me love. This is all we got. Sometimes life will push you down, make you fall onto the ground. But I know you will turn it around. This is all we got. And I know you'll make mistakes. Get interference and lose your way. Find the light when it rains. Oh, this is all we got. Show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. Show me life, show me love. Make a change, time is up. We can wait for better days, but the days won't come. Show me life, show me love. This is all we got. Show me life, show me love. This is all we got. 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 Show me love. Show me life. Show me love. This is all we got.
But
Yeah, we're just waiting for Jenna. But we're back. Yeah, no,
Back.
it's fine. We can just go appoint ourselves as this guy as Denny Snow's attorneys and get him
Yeah,
off.
that's
Nothing
fine.
could go wrong.
Nothing
Sure.
can go wrong. It's all fine.
Oh, fine.
Oh, I just noticed everyone's character portraits on the stream. It's great.
Yeah.
Didn't notice this before.
I've played enough Ace Attorney. We got this.
Yeah.
And we just need to
Yeah.
point out all the contradictions in the prosecution's arguments, and we'll win.
Yep.
yes, because Ace Attorney totally would work in the 1920s when they just want to punish some guy for being spooky.
Spooky boy
Ace
being
Attorney
spooky.
is so realistic.
Oh yes. All right. Well, since we'll wait a minute anyway, or why don't we jump into you guys chatting with the reporter if you'd like? Since I'm assuming Ruby would be taking the lead on that, possibly, or Ruby and Garon.
Probably, yes.
Probably. Garon could try, but I feel like at this point, anytime he goes to speak, everyone else is just like, shush.
Shush,
Okay.
shush you. All right.
Ruby will go try and introduce herself to the
Shush him.
attorney and
Yeah. You see, he's like grabbed a slice of toast and like put it in his mouth, and he's just like grabbing a few other things, and he's like about to start walking past you, and he's like, "Hey, can I help you?"
Ruby looks at him. She's like, I think you're just the guy I'm looking for. I have some peculiar news I think you might be interested in.
He
seems-
like, yeah, as he starts saying that, he like looks at the things, the like gathering of breakfast items he's got, and then he like sets them down on the table, and he's like, "Well, I was just heading to the courthouse for the trial today, but what have you got?"
Some may be related to the trial, some may be related to another series of happenings that have been going on in this town.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what have you got for me? He like reaches into his breast pocket and pulls out a little notebook that he flips some pages over and goes to like just take down some notes. What you got to say?
I think
Yeah, what do you want to tell him and how much?
she'll start with, we may or may not, or my group may have found alternatives to, or not alternatives. I'm trying to think how I want to say this. Evidence that Denny may have been manipulated into performing the acts that have him on trial and not entirely to blame for the occurrences. And certain parties may not have investigated as far as they could have to see if there was a further ill intent, as well as an alternate story that has not necessarily gotten recognition that it deserves in this town, in the form of a series of gruesome murders that have been going on monthly for about a year now.
You see, yeah,
has been potentially hidden from newcomers and those who would normally be in the know.
Yeah, you see, he's writing these notes down, and he's like, "Interesting. I haven't heard of any murders. So, have they been?" I mean, I just came in town for this Denny Snow thing, but if you've got a larger story, I'm all ears.
I have a larger story and am willing to put in sleuth work for, and in fact, turn over all sleuth work to you, as well as give all recognition to you for breaking a story of this magnitude for a bit of coin.
You see, he kind of perks up at that, and he's like, "So you're telling me you would do all the work, and I would get all the credit? Interesting."
Ruby's like, "Yes, this sounds perfect. No one, none of us get fingered for doing any of this."
He's like, "Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, this Denny Snow thing's all wrapped up. Clearly, he killed his family. They're just going to be wrapping up the details soon. But this murder thing, I'm very interested in what's going on with that. Do you think it might be a serial killer?"
Evidence seems to point that it has been a very singular motivation, and it would appear that it is the type of death is very unusual and consistent throughout all murders.
Got it.
There has also been a recent escalation in the case.
I see. Well, how much are you looking for?
Ruby immediately uses telepathy with Ava, like, how much should I ask this guy for money-wise?
$500.
Would Ava know, like, the going rate for a story from her time in New York, maybe?
Yeah, I'd say depending on the juiciness of the story, you could get like a couple of bucks for like local gossip. For something, this is technically a local story, but it's murder, which would get you a decent amount. I'd say like at the low end, 15 or 20 bucks for like a story like this. But depending on how much you want to negotiate, you might be able to get more out of this guy.
Ask him for 30.
Yeah, I'll ask 30, and
he like thinks about it and he's like, "That's a pretty high price. About 25.
Ava just kind of like, just the slightest of nods at Ruby.
Well, Ava can respond to Ruby's head or communication.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a one-way thing.
She'd be like,
so...
take it. That's a good deal.
I'll take the 25.
I was upselling him.
And he says, All right, but you gotta include evidence with this. I'm not just taking any hearsay.
We can work on that.
Ava like thinks to herself, "Do not burn the evidence.
Don't burn the bodies.
Yeah, Ruby saying we'll work on that is very funny. We'll work on it as a group to get better at yada yada. Oh,
How long are you in town?
he's like, I'll be staying here through the full Denny Snow murders. I think the trial's planning should wrap up in the next couple of days, but I'll stick around for that.
We have a couple of days to solve potential serial killer. Got it.
We're gonna have to split the party, kids, because then all guys leaving town. Suspect.
And he's like, all right, yeah, bring me some evidence on this. We can chat. Hey, I'm heading over to the courthouse now. Do you guys want to head that direction? We can work through your case.
Sure, we'll go.
That's good.
Yes, we also. Oh, sorry.
Oh, actually, I think I'm gonna go over to the lumberyard. While you guys are doing the case thing, if you guys feel like you're okay on your own, our new friend here, what's his name?
The reporter, Loom, Enoch.
Loom.
Yeah.
Loom looks very capable. You guys should go check it out. Do what you can. You know, I'm not really great in the situation of interacting with the law in general.
Run with you into the.
I'll be
sneaky in the woods.
I'll be fine. Probably. It'll probably be fine.
Hey, in the woods, please.
I will. I'll check the rabbit traps too on the way back.
Don't bring back anything that doesn't actually look like a rabbit. Maybe I should go with you.
I'm gonna jump in real quick just to.
Oh wait, this is in their head. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. I'm just jumping in to say that the actual like place where they cut down the lumber and do all of that, that's like way out of town. That's like a couple of days.
Okay.
The place in town that he goes to is like more of like a lumber workshop.
Yeah.
Where his lumber ends up to be sold.
Okay.
So
That's where she would want to go.
That's in town. That's not even that far. So you can like go there while the rest are at the courthouse, or you can bring Garon with you if you want. But it's not like out in the woods or anything.
Okay, I'm not going out in the middle of the woods with who knows out there.
Exactly. You're going across town.
Fine.
Not as bad.
Yeah. It's just like a few blocks the other direction. I don't know that I can be very helpful in you guys' quest to when we need plan B for saving Denny. Then that's where I come in and I shine, right? Like that's where my strength is. But the talking to the law is not my great. It's not a great.
Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, so. Ruby's fine going. She's okay with Ava staying in town and doing investigating. She'll also and once the group is like together kind of and walking and discussing plans, I assume we're doing this on the way to the courthouse.
Yeah.
She'll just say, we'll reconvene at the very least to do some investigation regarding these unique deaths that have been going on. Because she's also very aware of, like, if she's talking about it out loud, we aren't supposed to know about it because we were told we don't know about it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
All right, so you guys are heading towards the center of town for the courthouse. Actually, let me get you the specific name. Gems Lumber is the lumber shop that you're heading to. That's past the courthouse. Basically, you're going to drop everyone off, and then Ava will continue on. Is Ava going by herself?
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean,
All right.
unless Garon really wants to.
I mean, would we have had time for Ava to tell us everything, like her whole conversation with Peggy?
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to kind of have like a hush conversation, because technically you were walking with Loom. But
I assume Ruby's distracting him with endless chatter.
Or you can use Ruby to relay information between the two of you. I'm sure you've learned to do that as a telepath.
We're
But she
we're
just has to make one.
talking. We're just talking in each other's heads. Hey.
Yeah.
Okay. It's telephone, but in our brains.
Yeah. Honestly, from my perspective, I love the idea of just kind of setting up a network between you three.
Yeah.
With your time together, you've kind of set this up where Ruby can initiate like telepathic conversations between the three of you.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys can have that conversation. You're just essentially walking in silence.
Oh no, Ruby is probably not fully paying attention to the fact that there's another conversation. She's just kind of shunting information back and forth.
Okay.
And so she's probably just babbling innately with what's his
Just
face.
about just about our circus.
Yeah.
The circus. When the best time to give him information is, like,
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
what his schedule's like just random stuff. So
Perfect.
she's
Love it.
probably done a little bit of training so she can do this kind of multitasking once they realized how useful it is.
Cool. Yeah. Sounds good. Cool. So yeah, you guys share your information. Garon, you got that information. As you guys, I'll tell you what you see as you approach the courthouse together. But you see that it's already like we're still like a little bit of ways out before it actually starts, but the courthouse is already like packed with people. Like there's people like outside, like peering in through the windows. A ton of people like around the door, looking in. Like this is what the town is doing right now. Is paying attention to this case. It's what everyone's talking about. It's everywhere. You hear Loom say under his breath, "Oh, I knew I shouldn't have slept in. God damn it!" as you guys approach, it's like, okay, he turns to you, Ruby, and it's just like, okay, I'm gonna like worm my way in.
Oh,
Feel free
Ruby
to follow if you want.
automatically just starts talking her way through the crowd. Like,
excuse me.
yeah.
The Midwestern are like, oh,
Well,
sorry.
he follows right behind you. He's like, oh, this is great.
She's so useful.
You guys get in. You convince some people to vacate their seats. And
Yes.
you guys even get to sit down while most of the crowd is standing. I love it.
Tired and cute.
So with that information, Garon, are you gonna which group are you heading with?
Given that, I would go with Ava.
Okay.
Just because
A lot of people.
Yeah. Well, seeing that there's so many people here, that also feels like a safer place for someone to be on their own.
Yeah.
And also just the knowledge that this Blackwell fellow frequents this lumber shop. Yeah, I'd want to take a look and see if there's anything, I guess anything that's infiltrated the shop and is kind of influencing the town.
I mean, I will say also before Ruby separates, she does make sure they know that she had the danger spidey sense go off, as well as there's probably a sword in that cane.
My God.
He's not actually injured in any way that would require a cane.
No,
so
I could
he's
tell
probably
he walks-
also more capable than.
Dude walked just fine. But anyways, that's super fucking cool. I like that. I want a sword king. All right. Anyways, moving on.
Awesome. Cool. So yeah, Ava and Garan, you guys head off to the lumberyard. Ruby, you're here with Loom, who's already got his notebook out, ready to take notes. And let's do courthouse first. Basically, so that this trial has been going on for just over a week now. They've been back and forth. Loom catches you up a little bit on what's been going on because he's gotten a rapport with you, and he's like kind of just like, hey, let's chat through the details here. It's kind of fun to talk about this guy's life. So basically, the when it gets started, you see that it's Denny comes out. He's handcuffed, and they sit him down at. They've got the standard courthouse defense table and prosecution table. You see there's two people in nice suits over at the prosecution table with a bunch of briefcases and notes and everything in front of them. You see Denny has one guy over on his side who's doing the same, is kind of taking notes and stuff. And they dive right into it. The judge walks out, and you see an older man, white hair. They refer to him as Judge Singleton, is kind of overseeing the case. You also see that they've gotten a jury of peers in there as well. So you have the 12 jury members off to the side watching the case as well. They'll be deciding the case, obviously. And then you also see a man that you would assume is the sheriff is in here as well. Sheriff McLeod, McLeod. He's here as well. He's been doing this for a long time. He's probably close to retirement age, but he's standing off to the side. Still looks good for his age. Got a gun on his hip just in case, and he's kind of there to oversee what's going on, make sure that no one does anything crazy because there's a huge crowd in there. They go through their standard stuff. It seems like, when Loom catches you up, he basically talks about how the defense has been scrambling to figure out a way to get Denny the best sentence possible. And they started with like just kind of a lack of evidence sort of thing, trying to get a mistrial because essentially they found Denny with the bodies covered in blood with a knife. So Denny clearly did it. So they're basically like, there's not enough evidence. We're calling for a mistrial because of this and this and this. We're going to get him off because of that. That didn't work. So then they started bringing in character witnesses to kind of be like, oh, this was out of character for him to do. So like neighbors and stuff, people in town that have met Denny and stuff. Apparently that didn't go as well as they wanted because people were like reading into things that weren't actually there. Like, tainted memories because everyone's now heard about Denny the murderer. So when they bring people in, they're like, I mean, he was always nice to me, but there was that one time that he did this one little thing, and that could have been the spark of him being a murderer, sort of stuff. Everyone's trying to like rewrite history in a way. So at this point, this late in the trial, it's been a week of them going back and forth. The defense is moving into the trying to get him off on insanity, that he wasn't in the right mind. He still isn't. You shouldn't execute him. You should send him to be to a psych ward to be taken care of that way. So that's kind of where they are in the case right now, is trying to get him off for that. Based on the amount of stuff that you watch here today, between the prosecution and the defense and them going back and forth, talking to the jury, it seems like that's not going very well either. But that's what you got going on here. Is there anything that you want to do other than kind of watch this case as it's playing out?
Is there Is there like a break in the case at any point during the morning that I can like get in to talk with Denny's lawyer or representative?
Ooh, great question. Yeah, there would be like a recess around lunchtime.
I think I'll try and say bring up how I believe that he was not in his right mind, and from my observations, if they need a character witness like that has been untainted by the rumors going around, that I'm willing to do it and to attest that he has been, like from my observations and my times visiting him in the jail, as well as some strange remnants at the homestead. I believe that he was someone took advantage of a weakened mental state to manipulate him into murdering his family. And he is not at fault due to the weakened mental state driving him towards insanity. And that he, every time I've interacted with him, he has barely been able to process information.
Gotcha. Let me think this through. Yeah, so recess comes up. You approach the prosecution. You see this, balding man, although balding at a young age, probably like 30. He's like pulling all of his things together, and you approach him, and yeah, you kind of set this case before him, and he's like, "Wait, you went to the his house, or?"
That's briefly.
Briefly? Okay.
Yes, last night.
Gotcha. Did you? And you want to be a character witness? How long have you known him?
Well, more maybe not a character witness so much as an impartial behavior witness within the last couple days.
He's like, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. If you got some evidence for me for any reason that he didn't do the murder, I mean, I could also bring you up to just talk about it, what you found there, but without anything physical. They might just call it hearsay or something along those lines. That it's at this point, it's a pretty flimsy case we got going on. I hope that we can get him off on insanity, but we'll see. He says, here, let's do a little mock trial real quick. I bring you up and I say, how do you know the witness? Or how do you know the not the witness? How do you know the Denny?
I met Denny upon learning of his trial. Was it yesterday that we came into town? It's only been yesterday.
It's only been yesterday.
When I came into town, and I asked the kind gentleman guarding the jailhouse to let me speak with him as an impartial third party to try and gather more information as to the situation that occurred.
He's like, okay, got it. So far we're failing because it's been a day. You barely know this guy. But so let's look at the evidence angle. So I'll ask you. You recently went to the Snow Estate and you found something there. Can you tell me about that?
The antlers.
I don't know. Well, it was raining, so they might actually still be there, despite being burned. We tried. With
Ava, convinced us that she tried very hard to burn as much as possible, so I'm going to say that it's basically burned away.
So I guess I will describe the antlers and
Yeah, what do you want to... Basically, what he's asking is, what do you have to bring to this case that will shine a new light on what's going on here? So what do you think you would... how much would you tell him, and how would you go about describing it? Because at this point, you don't have anything physical. So it's just your words, and it's trying to figure out what you want to say to what you would want to say in this case.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think what I can say that doesn't come off as equally crazy.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Yeah. I will say that I observed an old man rooting around the homestead when I visited, who appeared to have malicious intent and was messing around with the remains of the murdered individuals. Technically, the souls were remains, so I'm not lying right now.
There's an old man there who's messing around with the remains.
I will describe the old man.
Got it. He says, okay. That's terrifying. But also he's like thinking through the case, and he's like, I mean, they brought the bodies back to be buried, so why were the bodies were still at the house? That doesn't track.
The bodies were fairly mangled, and there were
So they brought the bodies back to the house?
No, they didn't collect all the parts of the bodies, is what I'm saying, and there were remnants within the house.
Okay.
It smelled like death, basically, and there was distinct remnants of people that this individual was fiddling around with for unknown purposes.
He's like, okay, so a crazy old man was messing around with the remains at the Denny house, at the Snow house. That's weird, but how does that tell us that Denny didn't do it?
I'm just saying there might be another individual involved in this.
Okay, so
it might not just be as open and shut as the court would like to believe.
You know what? I like your thinking. Because all we need is for there to be
suspicion of doubt.
Any suspicion. If there's any inkling of doubt, then we might be able to either reduce or get rid of this sentence. Okay. Hey, we've tried literally everything at this point. Why not? Why the hell not? He's like, why don't I call you up after recess gets back? We'll have you state your case to the jury, and hey,
Ruby will be fully fast talking this entire case to try and convince them that there is a shadow of a doubt.
Perfect. Sounds good. Cool. All right. Sounds good. So we're going to come back to that because during all of that first half, Garon and Ava have been out at the lumber shop. Gems Lumber is the name of it. JEM. It's basically the shop that's on the street that's right across from the Tweetsy tracks. Tweetsy, of course, is one of the two train lines that comes through. And yeah, basically she sells Gem, the owner. She sells like processed lumber out to people to use for their their building projects, their homes, that sort of stuff. But yeah, you guys approach the building here. You see that it's basically a large building, and then there's a yard out back that's fenced in that has just a bunch of piles of lumber that are under tarps to keep them dry. Excuse me. And she is and yeah, you guys approach. Any specific plan? You guys just gonna come in through the front door, say hello?
Mm-hmm.
Great. You enter in.
That was Ava's plan.
Sounds good. You see a woman is taking notes behind a counter. Sees you guys come in, and she's like, "Hey, come on in, come on in. What can I get for you? Need some lumber for a project?"
Oh no, actually, I was here to talk to you. Are you Gem?
Yes. And you
Hi,
are.
Gem. My name's Ava.
Hello, Ava.
I'm just nosy, if I'm gonna be honest with you.
You see Gem like eye rolls.
I came to ask you some stuff about your friend, Mr. Blackwell.
Got it.
And I say friend loosely. I understand that there's been some contention.
Yeah, I mean, but he's my boss, so I let it go.
Oh, maybe he's not a great boss then, huh?
He's not ideal, but we make do, I suppose. I mean, is there some specific reason you're asking about him?
Well, I was just wondering how often he's around and when he plans to come by next.
I mean, you just missed him. He just came by a couple minutes ago.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, but he checks in, like he comes in for a week once a month roughly.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And just checks on his his lumber coming in, because that's his, he stakes his claim on that. He wants to make sure that everything's at high quality. I show him around and he leaves.
Cool.
And then stays for a week.
What else is he doing here for a week?
On that, we'll go ahead and grab a roll, I think.
Right.
So we're grabbing this is like or persuasion, or is a social roll.
I don't have any helping things, but I also don't have disadvantage because I'm not impaired socially. So not gifted, but not impaired.
So that's I'm gonna bump it up to a 4, so it'd be 12 or higher on your roll. Unless
20.
you want to 20?
Yeah.
Not 20?
Yeah.
Oh my god. You guys gotta stop getting that 20s on like these rolls. All right, yeah.
I feel like she's taking the angle of you know how men can be. Completely ignoring that Garrett runs right next to her.
All right, so something about the way that you are checking in about this, like girl to girl sort of thing. She opens up to you inexplicably, and
we're best friends now. Look at me. Nothing bad will ever happen to you now because you're my friend.
Instantly. Let's see. I think she's gonna say, she's basically like, well, it's not really out of my business, so I leave it alone. But
fair enough.
I mean, I've kept our relationship strictly business. What he does on his own time is his own time. But I have noticed it's a little suspicious that I keep hearing little rumors of murders happening when he's in town.
You don't say.
Yes, I was willing to call it a coincidence for the first few, but at this point, there's a pattern.
Yeah.
I haven't confronted him on it, but I've just kept everything strictly business, let him do his thing, and then leave.
That's fair. It's not ideal to actually confront a serial killer. I don't know if you know that
I try
much
not
about
to. I don't make a
serial
habit of it.
killers. Yeah, and me neither, right? Like that's
I'll say that much.
yeah, that's a good way to get serial killed. Or
Amen.
You
fired.
socialize with
Amos.
a lot of serial killers.
Ava ignores
haven't.
that. Blatantly ignores responding to that question.
Good.
Yeah, no, you don't want to control. You just, you just keep it copacetic and, for safety purposes. Do you know anything about him, like personally?
Not really. He just
Not married, no kids.
No, he stays pretty quiet, but as far as I've been able to tell, I mean he travels a lot. Like I'm just one stop of many, so it's kind of hard to keep a relationship going when you're traveling that much. So
I imagine so, yeah.
that's my assumption, but
Well, yeah. Who knows though? He could have a wife that doesn't mind that he's gone all the time.
yeah, exactly. Could be anything. But again, I
Might be
stay
a
out of
good
that.
deal for both of them.
He
Anyways,
he rubs me the wrong way. There's something dark about him, but I don't.
yeah.
I try not to dig into it. His business is his business. We don't go
Yeah.
out for drinks or anything. He just comes in, does his thing, he goes.
Yeah, it's just a paycheck. Do you know whereabouts he travels to usually after here?
He travels. Actually, I can tell you. I don't know.
Do you have a map?
She's like, yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of logging camps in Tennessee, and they're brought over from there to be sold in various places. I'm the last stop on that trip. So if you follow the Tweetsy line across Tennessee, you'll hit a bunch of those logging lines over the Blue Ridge Mountains. He doesn't. I don't know if he has a house or anything. It seems like he's always traveling, but
yeah.
He just goes from one logging location to the next. He's mostly at this point acts as a, inspector, making sure that everyone's stuff is good.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's working for the hang on, reading words. Bear with me.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm. He works for the Barrow family, as a they own the lumber yards, and he just has a high stake in it and serves as their inspector. And speaking as myself, you hear Barrow family, and you know that because they own the Barrow and Locke, which is like the biggest company in all of Appalachia. They own the main rail line, the Barrow and Locke rail line. They own, 90% of the mining operations in the area. And then they have a bunch of stakes here in Tennessee of lumber yards as well. So it seems like this guy, Avery Blackwell, Arlie Blackwell, he owns or he oversees their entire lumber division.
And his first name is Avery?
Arlie.
Arlie.
Arley. Yeah, she's like, yeah, I mean, he oversees all of that. I mean, he probably has some crazy side stuff that he does as well. I mean, he's way wealthier than just like someone who inspects a bunch of lumber yards, but
Oh, absolutely.
or seems to be at least.
That cane is nice.
Yeah, have you
stuff.
seen that cane? That's a crazy cane.
Right.
And he doesn't even
even
limp.
need it. Yeah, I was gonna say he works just fine. He don't need a cane.
Mhm.
What's he trying to say with the cane? You know?
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah.
He's like, but yeah, I don't like to talk about it too much. So if
Yeah. My lips are sealed. I'm saying nothing.
I appreciate it, you should probably, I mean, for your own safety, I would say keep out of it.
Oh, absolutely. I'm
Not just because of
like,
him, but the Barrow family themselves. It's a little.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know all about the Barrow family.
I try to just keep my head down so that I don't pick up any attention from them.
Yeah.
You can make a lot of money if you do that, but just don't
Mhm.
ruffle any feathers.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this has been a lot of fun. I got to tell you, tonight we're going to have a show with actually circus performers, myself and my friend, and I have another friend who's at the trial right now. Yeah.
Like clowns and elephants and stuff.
No. Like I do like some acrobatic stuff. Garen here has some does some like psychic or magic-y type stuff ability, and
she like looks at a pocket watch. She's just like, I don't know if I'll have time, but we'll see.
Okay, well, check us out if you got time.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye. My best friend's such a dick.
Close the door right at it. Close the door right at it.
Slams the door on us.
Perfect. Yep.
So was there anything in that office, or was it literally just like a front desk, basically?
She was at the front desk. It looked like that there was a side room office where she would keep like filing cabinets and that sort of stuff of like the storage of that sort of stuff. You couldn't see into it from where you were. If you'd like to do some investigating, or if you want to say you were doing stuff while Ava was there, you let me know.
Probably not in there, since it didn't open up to like where the actual lumber was stored.
Mm-hmm.
Once we get outside, Giron would at least want to like get a view of the lumber yard and use Mystic Sense to try and see if there's anything off with the supplies that have been brought in.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I'll just let you know now. You don't pick up anything.
Okay.
Seems like standard lumber.
Okay.
Looking over, peeking your head over the fence and keeping an eye on it. Yeah, it doesn't seem nothing. No whiff of anything around here.
Okay.
Seems like the material is legit.
Well, I can at least say for certain that the materials themselves aren't a danger to this town.
Yeah.
Well, that's positive.
Well. All right. Well, with that. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I was gonna say we're fairly nearby the Tweetsy line, right?
Yeah, the line like runs right behind it, basically to make it easy to unload and bring it right to the yard.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where, I guess, is there an official station somewhere else other than just like a drop off?
Let me think. Let me look at something real quick. Bear with me. That is a good question. Yeah, they don't really get it. Yeah, it looks like that this is basically, this spot here is like a drop-off point for this area. It looks like enough stuff is brought through that they've like set up a drop-off point. Normally they wouldn't do that for private businesses, but there's enough sway higher up that they were able to make this happen. The main stop is across town the other way, actually near where the hotel is.
I remember that. Okay.
And that's like the main location for where most things are unloaded. A few passenger trains will come through as well on this line, and that's where people will get on and off. So that's like the main station, and then this is like a drop-off point for the lumberyard, so that they don't have to drag all that lumber across town. Yeah, exactly. Since the line goes right past there, they might as well stop and do that.
Okay.
Cool.
Probably say to Ava, curious to see if anything's anything unusual's happened with Mr. Blackwell's exit, since I know recently a train derailed as well.
You want to go check out the train tracks?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
Cool. All right. You guys know that it's like it was like 10 minutes out of town. But if you want to follow the train line up, you can start on that path. While you guys do that, we're going to cut back to the courthouse, where we find Ruby already sitting on the witness bench, or in the witness chair. You've got the judge there. You got everyone's back. Everyone's like, immediately when they called your name and brought you up, the crowd was like all whispering to each other, like, who is this and what's going on with this? Everyone's trying to figure out like who you are amongst themselves. The couple people that you've run into so far, the people at that bakery shop, Peggy's isn't here because she's back at the hotel, so actually she wouldn't be here. Yeah, all the people that you've run into are in the crowd, and you see them excitedly whispering to people like, I know that person. So
I have a one up on you because I know who she is and no one else does.
Exactly. So they've got gossip to share, and now they can share it. So you hear like this murmuring happening when you come up, but the defense lawyer, he walks up, and basically we won't go through the entire conversation here because we kind of did a half
It's
version.
kind of and upon getting up on the up to testify and stuff, I pretty much immediately activate fast talk specifically at the jurors with the intent of having them more susceptible to believing that there is a shadow of doubt.
Yes.
That there was something or someone else involved in this case with Danny Snow, and the fact that he could have been manipulated in a weakened mental state, such as the insanity to do this.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. I'm gonna do this. I'm still gonna have you roll basically, like I would normally, but fast talk is gonna help tremendously with this. So normally I would set this as like a difficulty 5, which would be a target of 15. Why don't we pop it down 2 with all of your abilities to difficulty 3, so it would be a 9 or higher. If you want to apply effort, you can decrease that even more. This is intellect.
I will double effort here.
Okay. Do some effort.
Yeah.
And then before you roll, so just so that we know exactly what you're rolling for, basically you've said all these things. You've convinced people that what you're saying is true. What you're trying to do is specifically convince the jury that there's enough doubt here. You're trying to muddle the waters enough to basically be like, there's something else going on here. Denny would never have done this. And there's this other person that...
Yeah, there's this other person that's doing really suspicious shit.
Exactly.
So that we could... I'm not going to say this out loud, but that we can potentially blame for burning all the evidence later. It's fine.
Yes. Okay, so go ahead and make your roll. So with everything, you're bringing it down to just a 6 or higher is all you got to roll.
I double efforted.
I think you can only do one level of effort.
I can only do one?
Yeah. Once you go to tier 2, you can increase.
I understand now. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's an advancement that's extra effort.
You got it. Yep.
That makes sense.
Something to keep an eye on for later if you'd like.
Yes. I'm still okay with that. That is a 7.
Again, just barely making it. Oh my god, you guys, please. You're messing with my heart.
At least we're making our
curse my dice.
Mostly.
Exactly. I think everything. I don't think there's been a failure yet, except for Garon trying to hide from this person.
It's mad.
Yeah, exactly. Great. All right. Cool. So that's enough. You succeeded. There's you finished talking about this. The defense lawyer has asked the right question, asked good follow-up stuff. You've provided good responses to basically get people to start considering that maybe Denny didn't do this, or if he did, there's more going on here than meets the eye.
I would say my voice probably takes on that tone a little bit again. Not like extra depth, just because it's so close to actually failing that she actually probably had to rely on that quite a bit.
Yeah. You're weaving this extra magic or whatever this is into your words.
Yeah.
To
Still
convince...
has no idea what's going on, that it's there, but it's fine.
And you see, this crowd is very animated, so they with these things that you're talking about, they are talking to each other. People will shout out something every once in a while, like, wow. The jury has started like whispering to each other as well. The judge keeps having to bang his gavel and be like, order in the court, order in the court. And yeah, you guys finish up here. The judge turns to the jury, makes his quick statement here to send them back to deliberate some stuff here. And with that, basically before that happens,
Oh, can I add one more thing into this?
How about it?
I think there's probably a bit of powerful rhetoric going on too, to kind of reshape how they're seeing Denny.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay,
as more of a friend than a foe.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're using public perception to do that. Let me read something really quick. Yeah, how that creature is perceived, and that would be you're influencing everyone's perception of Denny, which is huge because you've been like everyone has had a very negative view on Denny because it's like he's this outsider, he killed his entire family, why are we even having a trial? He should just be hanged. And now you're with this powerful rhetoric, lacing your words with this extra little bit of magic. Everyone has kind of turned and been like, maybe he's a victim too. So awesome. That's perfect. That's a great ability to use there. Thank you. So the lawyer sent you back to your seat. They finish up the rest of the conversation here. And the judge sends the jury back to kind of deliberate with each other on what they'd like to do. And they'll be doing that in there. Ava and Garan, we're going to jump back over to you as that deliberation is happening. You guys are heading along the railway. You're trying to find like where the derailed train happened. The original story that you heard through rumors was that there's a train derailment because they slammed on the brakes and right when there was like some deer crossing the road, but the deer were standing on their back legs. They had blood red horns and their eyes were very human-like. And there was a small herd of them that crossed. So after about like 10 to 15 minutes of walking, you guys find the derailed train. It's still here. They haven't figured out how to move anything yet, so they've just left the derailed train. All the stuff is picked out of it, though, so they were able to get all the goods out of there, but the train is here itself.
Is the train completely off the tracks, or is it blocking the tracks?
They moved it enough to unblock the tracks. That was the first thing that they would have done to make sure that the line was still usable. But yeah, what are you guys looking for? What would you kind of like to investigate here?
Is there anyone here, or are we alone?
You guys are alone. Let's grab just like a general like perception check sort of thing.
Okay.
This would be a difficulty 4, so gotta hit a 12 or higher. Intellect is the pool.
Could I use See the Unseen to ease that? Or
I think that would apply to like magical invisible things, right?
Normally invisible, insubstantial, or hidden with magic.
Yeah, so
when
that wouldn't apply.
When looking for things more conventionally hidden, the task is eased. So
Oh, great. Okay, yeah, that works. Go ahead and ease that then. So 9 or higher. And Ava, you can do that too, but you're rolling a 12 or higher unless you want to apply effort. All right.
4.
4, good.
I got a 10.
Nice. Cool. So you would have succeeded if you were rolling for Garon, but that's okay.
Alone.
Well, yeah. Don't. You guys are alone out here. Just two of you. You see the the train off to the side. You can kind of gather where those deer would have crossed. And that's what we see at the moment out here.
And there's no people around, or
No, yeah, not at the moment. This happened like a couple days before this, so they've already, moved the train. They did that instantly to make sure that other trains could get by, and they unloaded all the stuff over the last couple of days.
Was this just a freight train, or did it have passenger cars?
Just freight. It would have been used for like the lumber that's now at the lumber yard, and any other stuff coming in, coal, that sort of thing.
I think I would want to do, I guess, similar to what I did at the snow residence. Sort of use in tandem like Mystic Sense with connecting with the earth to see what's happened here, if there's anything still lingering in this location.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, we can do that for free. We don't have to roll for that. I'll say you yeah, I'm setting precedents now on the idea of like lingering stuff, or if the thing has to actively be there. So I'm thinking about that real quick.
That's fair.
Because I don't want to make it too easy for you to find stuff in the future. Let's roll then, actually, and if you roll high enough, then I'll let you know what's going on. So, I
mean, I sort of like, just as it's written, interpret it as something that is currently there, rather than being able to pick up on something that once was there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
okay,
I'm fine with rolling, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Difficulty. Yeah, what you'd be finding, this is like a difficulty 6, so it'd be an 18 or higher. If you can lower it with anything, you let me know.
Would using magic count here, or?
Not really
Okay.
with this, unfortunately. Yeah, basically, you're being able to do this role because of your like mystical senses and stuff.
Okay.
So I wouldn't also decrease the difficulty because of it. Yeah, let's ease it 1 because of your extra stuff. So let's do 15 or higher, difficulty of 5.
Is this? I mean, I don't think so, but you have a better sense of what happened here. Would identifying plants and creatures come into play here, or no? Because there's not actually
No,
physically...
that would be a separate thing. Yeah.
I didn't think so, but wanted to check. Okay. So just, I don't think I really have anything else that would help here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. 16.
Oh, nice. Perfect. Again, just barely succeeding.
Yeah.
All right. You're feeling out. Let's see. What do I want to give you here? I think you find you use this to kind of be able to you're thinking back to this idea of these mutated deer walking through here, and you're like, that's a thread, that's something we can pull on and take a look at. So you look for signs of where they might have gone, etc. You do pick up on some tracks that head out of the woods out here and are essentially heading in the direction of and cross over the tracks where the derailment happened, and are traveling in the direction of town. So you pick up on that. You do verify that these are deer tracks, but they're each of these set of deer tracks, of which there are three different sets of deer tracks. They are all missing 2 of their 4 feet on their steps. So you do confirm that these deer were walking on 2 legs this whole time. At this point, not the craziest thing you've seen, but it's crazy nonetheless. The area that you're in, basically this train is going through the woods, and there are woods on either side of you. So you pick up on where these tracks went, and if you would like to follow them, that is up to you guys.
I would pose this to Ava and say, I think knowing where they came from.
Ava's already walking in the direction.
I imagine I point them out, and then I'm still looking down, and I'm just like,
You're still looking at
I think it would be helpful to follow them, and
right.
I look up, and you're already like 10 feet ahead of me. And I'm just like,
Are you following where they were or where they're going?
Where they're going?
Right? They were headed towards town, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then I want to see where they're coming from.
Yeah, that's where I was wanting to go too.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good to me. All right. You start traveling in that direction. Let's do this. We're coming up on time anyway. Usually I like to leave us on a cliffhanger. But the cliffhanger I'm going to leave us on is we're going to find out what you guys find in the next episode, because I need to write that far.
Okay.
We're gonna. I love where your head's at. I love what you were doing. So I'm going to make sure that what you find is something interesting.
Okay.
So we're going to come back to that. Just to wrap up what's going on with the courthouse and Ruby. You basically, everyone's in the courthouse eagerly awaiting the jury to come back. After like a good 2 hours of just hanging out waiting, out from the back, the jury comes back out. They take their seats. They hand a slip of paper to the judge. He's going to read it out. He takes it out. He reads it, and it looks like they've decided that due to this new information, they cannot rightfully prosecute Denny Snow. So they are letting him off pending further investigation. So the crowd, it's kind of 50-50 split. It convinced most people to be like, oh, maybe he's just a victim. There's still some people that were very rooted in their ways of being like, Denny's a murderer and he should die, who are outraged. You hear some people cheer, the people that switched to Denny's side thanks to your testimony. They are letting him go. The sheriff comes over and he unlocks the handcuffs and basically just like says, all right, you're good. And I think that's another thing with like some of the crowd looking at Denny like, this guy is being let off unrightfully. Maybe we should do something about it. You catch some of that in the crowd. We're gonna go ahead and stop there too with that.
Don't
With that new revelation.
Oh, no.
There's Denny is now no longer protected by the jail. He is out and about in the real world, so we're going to deal with that. We're going to find out what's going on with these crazy deer, where they came from, and the party is currently split. So we're going to learn what happens. With
Ava's
that
like,
as
there's
well.
a disturbance in the force, and I should be there.
And Ruby's like, there's a disturbance in the
people
force.
to
I
punch.
should be there.
Damn
Awesome.
it.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone for joining us today. Wow. Yeah, this is
Yeah, we're going in
Fine.
some directions. It's fun.
It's fine.
We're seeing what's going to happen.
I caught the eye of a very dangerous individual. It's fine.
Yeah.
Fine. Don't worry about it.
Not at all. Like, it's. Do you think he likes me?
That is not where Garon said that at all.
Does he
No,
like me? Oh, man.
Or does he just want me for my heart?
Potentially? I think, yeah. I think he would like to feast on my heart. But
I
We'll see.
mean, what romantic wouldn't?
yeah, so no jukebox justice tomorrow because I had a busy week and we were without
We were
Bree.
tired, all right? We're tired sometimes. Let
Yeah.
us just be tired. We
Tired,
just
emotional, all kinds
they
of
decided
stuff.
the rest of the crew decided to stress themselves out with some absurd kitchen game while I ate chicken tenders.
I wasn't stressed out.
And listened to them stress out about the kitchen game.
Crow was
So-
the most stressed.
He
But-
was so stressed. I was like, why are you doing this? And I'm just like eating chicken tenders. Like
Yeah.
But
that's how our Friday night went, folks.
we will also be dark all of next weekend because several of us are going to be at GaryCon, so there
Woo.
won't be like anyone around. But we will pick things back up the week after. So,
Nice.
yeah. In the meantime, come join the Discord
Yeah.
and hang out with us that way. Or if you're at
Yes.
GaryCon,
Come find
find
us.
some of us at GaryCon.
And you can give us cash in our hands.
Yeah.
Like if you
we
wanted
might,
to give us money.
we might have
Or
stickers to
I
give
also
out.
take drinks at the bar. Yeah. And also catch any like reels that we'll post on the socials. Mostly Instagram probably.
Yeah, probably Instagram. For now though, have a good week. Go
Yeah.
take a nap, enjoy your Saturday, do something fun.
Self-care.
So,
Mhm.
bye.